Good morning. The Friday, May 29th, 2026 regular City of Knoxville Public Officer hearing is called to order at 9:31 a.m. I'm Nicholas Bradshaw, the public officer designated by the mayor as described in the City Code of Ordinances, Article 6, unfit buildings, and charged with addressing properties in the city that are out of compliance with the adopted codes of the City of Knoxville. The adopted codes include the 2024 editions of the following. These are all international codes: fire, building, residential, plumbing, mechanical, fuel gas, existing building, and swimming pool and spa, as well as the 2017 edition of the ICC ANSI Accessibility Code, the 2023 edition of the National Electrical Code, the 2018 edition of the International Energy Conservation Code, and the 2018 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. The public officer is authorized to hold hearings, administer oaths and affirmations, examine witnesses, and receive evidence and issue orders as the result of his findings in determining the condition of buildings that are dangerous, unfit, and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants and/or public. The procedure for the public officer is as follows. Each case will start with a report and presentation of evidence by officers representing various city departments. Today, this will primarily consist of, but is not limited to, evidence presented by Mr. Scott Elder, Neighborhood Codes Enforcement Manager for the City of Knoxville. Mr. Elder is employed by the City of Knoxville and is certified as a property maintenance and housing inspector. Following the city's report and testimony, the owner or owners and/or their legal counsel, as well as any members of the general public, will be given an opportunity to respond. The public officer has the authority to limit this time as per his discretion. Today's agenda will be modified to hear the cases of property owners present at this time and in the order signed up as you enter the hearing room. We make this accommodation to minimize any inconvenience to the owners and members of the public here today. For those actively participating in today's meeting, thank you. Your involvement and active participation is appreciated. As per legal counsel, I need to read the following notice of demolition into the record. Any person who intends to perform work on a structure that the public officer has placed an order against shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit. For orders issued by the public officer, please be aware that just obtaining permits and starting rehabilitation of a structure does not invalidate the city's power to take corrective action, such as demolition of a dangerous structure, regardless of the amount of work performed by the owner. All orders are still in effect if the rehabilitation work has not been completed and the structure has not had all final inspections approved within the time provided by the order, or by an extension if one has been granted. Remember, if rehab is not fully complete or an extension is not in place, the structure may be demolished after the order time has expired or after any prior written extension of time has expired without any further notice given to the owner. All right, are there any questions before we start? And all participants are sworn in. Seeing none, all individuals testifying today will need to be sworn in. If you are testifying today, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. LaFew, please advise me of any individuals who arrive late and need to be sworn in mid-hearing. And with that, we will start our agenda. First order of business is 2231 Knollcrest Lane?
No.
No, okay.
It's going to be the boarding approval for 524 Victory Street.
524 Victory Street.
Yeah, this property was boarded on November 7th at 25, and we're just requesting approval of those boarding charges.
Okay. And do we have someone signed up to speak on this item?
Yes, Mr. Victor Jarnigan.
Mr. Jarnigan, if you could approach and state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Victor Jernigan, 229 Sherway Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37922.
Okay.
I'm not here to contest the boarding fees. The people with the codes department just do an unbelievable job trying to keep up with the homeless and the homeless population. But I do have a couple of comments to follow up on, as I know you have a number of other properties that are coming up with similar situations. And what I want to point out is that this property sits between the entrance to the Southern Avenue entrance to the Third Creek Greenway and between John Tarleton's property. And effectively what has happened is the Third Creek Greenway has become an expressway for the homeless to get from downtown Knoxville to West Knoxville. And the stopping point for people to rest either is John Tarleton Park, or they'll get off of Sullivan Avenue and look for a property in that area, either in the Bearden Shopping Center area or, unfortunately, on this property. We have somebody drive by this property and or inspect this property every week. I mean, we're a small firm. There's 3 people, and we now have 2 maintenance people that do basically nothing but follow up to make sure that we don't have codes violations and or deal with the homeless. We spent just a small company, we spent $14,000 about in 2024 just dealing with the homeless on different properties where they have come in, made themselves available, taken over property that is been fenced off, guarded, posted, police request to come by and drive by and arrest people. Last year, we spent right at $17,000. The issue for the codes to come by, we've asked Mr. Elder, and everybody at Codes, I got to say, has just been absolutely excellent in dealing with us. They've given us great information. Everybody has tried to work with us. We do ask that they keep our phone number on file, because sometimes a letter will come in, as again, we're small, and it doesn't get handled timely or properly. And by the time we get there to fix it, Codes has already been back and nailed up the boards. So we ask that somebody keep our phone number. If we get a phone call, we will respond immediately. The situation in specific for this property is that this property, we've assembled several tracks right there, and we're waiting on a finalized development plan to go forward with this property. We've already torn 2 buildings down, and this is the last remaining building on the site. And so once the development plan is finalized, this building will be gone, and there'll be a new project that'll be built there. But the issue for me and other people is you're looking to collect the money. And again, by the way, I think that the fees that Codes charges for things like boarding are reasonable to the effort that it takes to get it done. So I have no complaints about any of these issues, other than the fact that the city needs to do more in dealing with the homeless, especially on the greenways and the walking trails. And it should not be the job of the private citizens to have to police the homeless population of West Knoxville, South Knoxville, North Knoxville, and soon to be East Knoxville. The South Knoxville problem is getting to be unbelievably difficult. So I am wanting to speak to this issue because somebody, other than the people whose houses are going to be condemned or are going to get tear down notice, I want to find out why Knoxville College has a $500,000 lien from the city of Knoxville for 2 years, and no effort has been made to collect any of the $500,000 that Knoxville College owes. There's no effort to tear down their buildings. There's not been any condemnation notice of their buildings, and yet they owe more money than the city has in their affordable housing fund. I find that unconscionable, quite seriously. And for private citizens to be the people that are responsible for policing the homeless population is also patently unfair. So I'm here to make that statement, because I know that I watch this on a regular basis, because you all do a wonderful job in presenting the case. The information that's presented is excellent as to why the properties are going to be handled. And I've been able to, quite seriously, over time, to acquire 2 or 3 properties from people who have difficult situations, where we've been able to completely restore the properties and make them very beneficial to the community. So I think the job that Codes does for the overall benefit of the community is excellent. It's unfortunate that the main job that Codes has today is dealing with the homeless population on everybody's property. So whatever we owe for the boarding up of the properties, I'll be happy to settle that right now with a credit card, or you can bill me, and we'll take care of it immediately, whatever way it needs to be done. But I do want to let everyone know that we are sincere about trying to deal with this ourselves. And please call us if there's any issue of any kind. All the properties have been reported to the police, arrest on site. But unfortunately, the police is overworked and overtasked. And by the time they chase people out of Tarleton Park, or they arrest them on chase them off the Greenway trails, there's no police left to arrest them on 524 Victory Street. So I do want to thank you all for the time, and thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words about our codes enforcement team. And obviously the homeless the unhoused situation in Knoxville is a very serious one that a lot of city departments are addressing, and our elected officials are also working towards that. It's a little beyond the scope of what we're here for today right now, but I encourage you to continue participating in our civic institutions, and it's a challenge we're all working to address. With that, anything further from the city on this? I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 524 Victory Street due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next item.
(2231) Knowcrest Lane.
All right, Mr. Elder.
This property was inspected on May 1st, 2024. It was involved in a significant fire, and a large portion of it is in total burnout conditions. As you can see, there it is. Utilities have been removed. It's been boarded and remains vacant and unattended. It's become the subject of many nuisance calls from the neighborhood. And so far, since the fire, no permits have been required to take any remediation action to get this thing started. So we're requesting a 90-day repair demolition order for this house and the associated carport.
All right, Ms. LaFew, we have someone signed up to speak for this.
Yes, we have Miss Megan Moon over Zoom. She will need to be sweared in.
Okay, Ms. Moon, could you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. All right, and what's your testimony regarding this property?
I am the homeowner. As you can see, the fences, anytime we leave there, we've been working to get the inside cleaned out still. And I've got a couple of potential buyers. We don't want to, we're looking for something else to buy. So whether it be 90 days or 180 days to get rid of it, we are on the cusp of getting it sold. But I mean, like you can see, the fence is locked. We put a chain around the fence to the entrance of the driveway, and an additional lock on it. All the doorways and windows are locked so that nobody can get into it whenever we're not there. Not sure what other information you're looking for, but it is, boarded up and locked and everything like that so that nobody can enter the property. And we are on the cusp of selling it, so.
Okay. Well, what the city's requested is a 90-day repair or demolition order. Basically, 90 days to get the structure up to code or to demolish it. I think from what I understand, you're not really disputing the characterization that Mr. Elder's presented today, right, as to the condition of this property? The burnout?
Yeah, I mean, can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
We had a house fire there, so no, I'm not disputing what he said, but it is, the entire lot is fenced in, so I don't feel like it's unsafe or there's not a threat of children coming in the house and playing or anything like that. But I'm not disputing the condition. There's a 99.9% chance that I'm not going to be the one to repair it. I'm, looking to sell it. So we've got two different people that we're speaking with. It's just trying to finalize the details and come to an amount. So I guess once the property were transferred, that would be, I don't think they could have it repaired or fixed in 90 days. That's a little, that's a tall order. But like I said, I'm going to be transferring the property. So.
Yeah, I think at this moment, there are no permits pulled for the repair, so I think if the ownership does change,
Yeah, I have, no, yeah, there hasn't been a permit pulled or anything like that. It's just, I tried to go about it, to get a HELOC to repair it. It's just more than we can take on right now, and I do have children and stuff, so that's why we're looking to sell it. But, it hasn't changed ownership yet. I can let the city know whenever there's paperwork, being drawn up. But even so, whoever buys it won't be able to have it repaired in 90 days. But, I mean, just my opinion, but the roof doesn't leak and it's secured and all that, so.
all right. Mr. Elder, did you have anything additional to?
No, not unless you had a question about it, but no, it's a bad property. It's been there 2 years. The neighborhood shouldn't have to live with that. So that's why we're requesting. So it'll be 3 months. And if she sells it between now and then, we can work with the homeowner, the new buyer, if they demonstrate that they're going to get permits and get plans in and a contractor in line, we could talk about an extension. But, this puts a timeline on this thing so the neighborhood doesn't have to suffer that anymore. So.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Well, that's an excellent point. I think if the ownership situation does change and the new owners are actively working on some rehabilitation work and pull their permits and hire a contractor and show some progress, I think we will be willing to discuss an extension under those circumstances. But I think that's a bridge we'll cross if we get there. Okay. Ms. Moon, did you have anything further?
No, sir. I don't have anything further.
Okay. All right. With that said, I find the structure at 2231 Knollcrest Lane, including the accessory structure, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I order the owner to repair or demolish the structure at 2231 Knollcrest Lane within 90 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, and the city may cause the immediate repair or demolition of the building, with the cost of such corrective action being a lien and collected as provided in city code. What is our next item?
Boarding approval for 3725 Dance Avenue.
Yeah, this was boarded on October 23rd of last year, and we're just seeking approval for the boarding charges.
It's just the one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there's no one signed up to speak for this item.
No.
All right, I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 3725 Dance Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next item.
Boarding approval for 1001 Drive E.
This place was boarded on November 7th of last year. We're just seeking approval of those charges.
That one's a little hard. Is there a glass? Well, it looks like there's a reflection on that board. What is that? Am I just seeing that wrong? There's not glass in front of the board, is there?
I'm not sure.
It looks like it is. It may have been opened and boarded from the inside. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Okay. No one signed up to speak?
No.
I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1001 Drive E due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next item.
1113 Phillips Avenue.
This property was boarded in November of last year on the 17th, so we're requesting approval of these boarding charges.
I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 1113 Phillips Avenue due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next.
5913 Tool Drive.
Property was boarded in December of last year on the 19th, seeking approval for this boarding charge.
I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 5913 Tool Drive due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. Next.
614 Watauga Avenue.
This was boarded on two different occasions. It was boarded on November 24th of last year, and I'll be seeking approval for those boarding charges.
All right. Do we want to do we need to do separate orders for the November and the March, or do them all together?
Two, right? Yeah, two. So I'll ask for the different date next. So right now, I'm just asking for the November approval.
Okay. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 614 Watauga Avenue on November 24th, 2025, due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public.
And it was once again boarded this year, March 5th. So I'm seeking approval for those charges as well.
I'm having a hard time differentiating are these the same openings that have been boarded again? Or are they different openings on the structure?
I imagine they're the same, except for that one. That one looks like a door.
Okay. Okay. I approve the boarding action taken by the City Public Service Department and affirm the charges related to the corrective action for the structure at 614 Watauga Avenue. This is the March 5th, 2026 boarding action. Due to the building being an attractive nuisance and dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the community, being open and accessible to children and members of the general public. All right, being no other business brought before the public officer on this day, this hearing is adjourned at 9:55 a.m. Thank you, everyone.